Next on the news, a New York City Catholic school is 177 years old, but they are still growing. Right now, they're big enough to move back into the halls they walked in 1848.
It's a homecoming for Salle Academy, which has moved back into its original location. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll explain why coming up.
They're taking a swimming class without a pool. How these Queens students are diving into water safety.
I'll be cautious to swim around near lifeguards.
Plus, there's a listening ear inside St. Peter's Basilica, but it's not a priest hearing confession. How you can join the conversation at the Vatican. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. It's a real-life history lesson for some Catholic school students in Manhattan. When they return to school this year, they return to different classrooms, and what's old is new again. As Currents News' Katie Vasquez reports, the East Village space they moved into already feels like home.
Class is back in session for Salle Academy students in the East Village. While they are in a new location this year, it's not unfamiliar territory.
I don't like to say being back. I say we've moved forward. I believe it was 1956 that we moved from Canal Street to 2nd Street. So it has a wonderful place in the history of Salle Academy and really in the history of New York City.
The all-boys Catholic school moved from East 6th Street to East 2nd Street over the summer. The previous building was shared with another school, but now these 5 floors are exclusively for LaSalle, providing a better learning experience for senior Joseph Mantilla.
It's like we have more access to resources, and it's much bigger, so everyone can engage, and we don't have to be all cramped into 3 floors as it was in the old building.
The lease at their old location was ending, and the freshman class grew by 60%, from 43 to 69, which led to a demand for more space. Phoenix Nanka Bruce believes it's been a good change from public school.
A pretty different change. It's different to me, but it's a good change for me, and I like it.
Overall, the total number of students has increased by 25%, now at 216 from 173. One of the new scholars is senior Francisco Martinez. It was important for him to continue his Catholic education after his last school closed.
It sure was, as we all need the works of joy in ourselves. So.
And now the principal says these young men have a chance to form core memories here.
This home means a lot to many generations of LaSallian men, that this was special. This is where they did their formative years, where they learned and grew in their faith.
In the East Village, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
To enroll your child in a Catholic school, just visit catholicschoolsbq.org or call 718-965-7380 for more information. A commission created by President Donald Trump is looking at religious freedom in the nation's schools. The Department of Justice's Religious Liberty Commission, which includes New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan, held their 3rd meeting on Monday to examine a range of issues like protecting the right to prayer in public schools and recent instances of violence in places of worship. The group will make recommendations to President Trump in their report about religious freedom next spring. A second detainee has died following a shooting at a Dallas ICE facility last week. The family of 32-year-old Angel Garcia Hernandez confirming Tuesday he succumbed to his injuries after being removed from life support. He was one of 3 men shot after authorities say 29-year-old Joshua John fired at the facility from a nearby rooftop. John shot himself after the attack. Turning now to the latest on the Michigan church attack that left 4 dead and several others wounded. New details are emerging about the brave people of faith who risked their lives to save others after a gunman rammed a truck into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, started shooting, and then set the sanctuary on fire. Members of the church went in and out of the burning building to help pull people out. Some of the injured were shot, others suffered from smoke inhalation, but these victims were also first responders helping to take care of each other. In a show of support for the victims and their loved ones following the attack, Michigan native Dan Beasley carried a massive cross to the site of the mass shooting. The cross, which stands more than 10 feet tall and weighs 65 pounds, has been to the sites of other mass shootings, including the recent church shooting at Annunciation Parish in Minnesota. 1 month after that shooting, the community continues to lean on one another through prayer. More than 150 people gathered on the lawn outside Annunciation Church and School for a morning prayer service on Saturday. The 40-minute gathering was led by the church pastor, Father Dennis Zarin, and the school principal to mark the grim anniversary. Later on, Archbishop Bernard Hebda celebrated a memorial mass at the Cathedral of St. Paul to remember the 2 students who lost their lives and pray for healing in the Annunciation community. Now to the Vatican, where religious men and women are standing by to hear whatever's on your mind. It's a new initiative during this Holy Year, a place where you can talk and be heard. Usually people converge on St. Peter's Square to listen to the Pope.
Non rimandare, rimboccati le maniche.
But now visitors can head there to be listened to. It's a new initiative at the Vatican, a listening room built inside St. Peter's Basilica, a space where pilgrims, tourists, even people of different faiths or no faith at all can express their doubts, concerns, and spiritual questions. The secretary of the Fabric of St. Peter explains it this way.
It's a place where people can come to be heard. There's a religious brother or a religious sister, and the people generally come to express what they carry inside. It's open to everyone, pilgrims, people of other religions, even those who no longer believe or are struggling in their life of faith.
He admits that it's a place with a special kind of magic, a unique service that focuses solely on listening to those who enter, often stirring up deep emotions and even a few tears.
Many people struggle to be heard, to feel accepted, because we're all a bit rushed and don't take time for others. So this listening point will be dedicated to those who wish to be listened to.
The listening room does not take the place of a confessional. Again, it's open to everyone, no matter their faith. Bishop Robert Brennan highlighted the students of service at St. John's University last Sunday. The Brooklyn bishop, who is also an alumnus of the school, celebrating the closing Mass for Founders Week, which honors the university's Catholic and Vincentian mission. During his homily, he asked the young men and women to make their circle of concern for others bigger, drawing on the feast day of St. Vincent de Paul, from whose work the university draws its mission.
You're involved in all kinds of service. Like I said, your circle is pretty big. Your circle of concern is pretty admirable, pretty impressive. St. Vincent de Paul said, not only is Lazarus not one to be pitied, the beggar and the outcasts are our masters and patrons. We're kind of accountable to them.
More than 700 student leaders were honored during Founders Week. Finally tonight, while summer is over for students across the Diocese of Brooklyn, at St. Joan of Arc School in Jackson Heights, kids are diving into swim safety.
Mop and a bucket. Anybody else?
On Tuesday, the Swim Strong Foundation offered information to students in 3rd through 8th grades on the dangers of drowning, one of the leading causes of accidental death for children, according to the CDC. It's a subject the founder and executive director of Swim Strong says she's passionate about after she nearly drowned as a child. She showed a series of videos, including news reports involving drowning, and then took some questions. Many students found the information valuable.
This is life-saving work because water surrounds us and we don't understand how the benefits, which are wonderful, but also the dangers.
I think everyone who swims should have a lifeguard next to them so they could, learn and they could know if the currents are strong enough to put a rip current or to take them away.
I will be thinking of looking for the flags where it shows me if the water is good enough to swim in, and I'll be cautious to swim around near lifeguards.
Sean is hoping to get into more Catholic schools to educate students. And before we go, be sure to tune into Currents News tomorrow night for a special program. We are looking back at one of the biggest events in the Catholic Church last year, the reopening of Notre Dame 5 years after the famed parish cathedral was set ablaze. Just tune in on Wednesday, October 1st at our regular time, 7 p.m., right here on Net TV. And if you want to share a tip about a big event or story near you, be sure to email us at newstips@desalesmedia.org. You can also call our 24-hour number, 718-517-3122. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.